Hey guys, welcome to the MLG stream covering the Acer Team Cup match between Liquid and Millenium. We just saw Zenio take out Daishi in a great macro game using Swarmos in his composition, putting Liquid up 1-0. Game 2, Millenium is throwing in 4GG, of course. I'm on with Pui. How you doing today, Pui?
This game was pretty awesome, I gotta say.
Yeah, that was, I haven't really seen Swarmos used like that in late game, and it was kind of interesting because they never really participated in like any major combats, but it was kind of like he just slowly bled him out.
It was really weird because he also had like the Mulas to chase down medevacs and stuff like that, and that also limited Daishi's ability to, multitask, do drops, force his opponent to, multitask as well, maybe force units so he can snipe this base over there. And Daishi was just limited. His hands were tied pretty much. He couldn't really do much. But we do have a Rax opening incoming, and there's the gas. So it looks like it will be a Reaper opening, and of course the drone is going down to make that hatchery.
That's right, we do see that going underway right now. Same opening from Zenio as last game. Just a standard hatchery first. Of course, that's pretty much what every Zerg does in Zerg versus Zerg. But 4GG doing something a little bit different than Daishi. Looks like he's probably going to be going for a Reaper expand instead of Daishi, who went for the command center first.
Yeah. So do you think we'll, like, we talked about it last game where I brought it up. 4GG has like a really funky build where he goes for this, he'll go into a command center, and instead of getting a third, he drops 2 racks and then goes for a react, and he hits with the time in, which, like, it's an insane amount of units. Some medevacs, and of course with the Hellion harassment and stuff like that, it can be really killer. Like, I was casting Millenium Cup 4GG v Snoot in the finals, and he rolled, like, Snoot's a great player, and he just rolled him like 3-0 pretty easily in the finals.
Yeah, I think that is a really good build, and this map in particular, it's actually pretty good to do it on because it's not too easy for Zerg to get the insane creep spread on this map. And the third base, if they take it in front, they're obviously in real big trouble against that build. You have to take it into back. It's a little bit harder for them to get the creep spread all the way down the back ally. Like kind of up that back ramp, I guess you would say. So 4G could hit that attack and just come over the top of the map with that. Though it is kind of a longer walking distance. I could see him going either way. He does love those aggressive builds.
Yeah, definitely. Now, the command center has not started. The first Reaper is out on the field, about to go into his opponent's base, and the second Reaper will be joining him in just a second. Of course, this is the scout. If he gets a drone or some certain kills with this, that's always beneficial, but it's not the #1 priority.
Yeah, just trying to be as annoying as possible. Make sure he knows exactly what Zenio's up to, and make it as awkward as possible for Zenio to basically do his opening. Anytime drones are forced to be pulled off the minerals, that's of course a bonus. Anytime he kills a Zerg, and every little bit of damage helps out.
Yeah, and guys, it does get forced there from one of the drones. The Queen pops just in the nick of time to protect the rest of the drones, and here we do have the 2 Reapers. The reactors being added on and the factory being made as well, so he can swap them over for double Hellion production fairly soon. And is he gonna get a drone? No.
Oh, he wanted one, but those drones are pretty quick in running. One of them was forced to turn to a spore crawler to stay alive, but the Reapers do escape, which is the main part. As long as you escape with the Reapers, like you said, you don't have to do damage. Damage is a plus, but it's really just about being annoying and scouting. Oh, he does get a drone.
Wait, he goes back down, jumps to the low ground, and then finishes him off. A couple of Zerglings as well. Speed is soon to finish up at about 25 seconds, so he does have to be careful. There's not that many Zerglings, so the Reapers don't have to worry, but of course you never actually know that. And duping the Zerglings. Yeah, again, he is going to lose 1 Reaper. Queen
was sleeping on a job for a second there. Does take out the Reaper.
So he does get it with some nice target fire.
Exactly. At this point, he knows that speed is nearing completion. Of course, that's the first thing you scout when you send in Reapers is you see, okay, when is that spawning pool wiggling? When is speed being started? And then you know exactly when it's going to be finished, or at least you have a pretty good idea. 4GG went for the fast 3rd command center behind us, which is reasonably common with a Reaper expand, just because your scouting is so good, you know you can be absolutely safe doing that. But it also means that he won't be able to hit that super aggressive time you were talking about.
Yeah, definitely. Now, we do have 4 Hellions. He is actually continuing to produce 2 more, so looks like we're going to go up to 6. Of course, there is only 1 Reaper, because one of them did get killed off, so a little less DPS than what you normally see, but of course, it can still do insane amounts of damage. Now, the 3rd is being taken, and the Roach Warren is being added into the wall, so we might get some defensive roaches, just like the last game.
Xeno seems to kind of like that style where he gets the roaches in. Even last game, what I found interesting is that he got roach speed, even though I don't think he ever went past 5 or 6 roaches. You know,
Yeah.
he just had the first couple, and then when those died, never replaced them. Maybe he was leaving the option open to switch into mass speed roach in case his opponent went mech or something. I think maybe at that point he wasn't 100% sure what his opponent was up to.
Yeah, sometimes it's just a contingency plan, you know, if your units get cleaned up on the other side of the map and you need units, you know, really fast, like lava efficient units, like roaches are normally just the unit to go to. Creep is trying to get cleaned up here, but roaches slowly zoning out the Hellions. One of them does get picked off. No, actually, that was the Reaper.
Hellions and the Reaper did a pretty good job though. They got rid of a lot of the creep, but of course with all the queens out there, Xeno's super quick to just replace down those tumors and restart that creep spread. We did a 4GG. He didn't get the E-base quite as fast as Daishi did. He got a couple barracks first to just be extra safe and get his production going. But now he's getting double E-base at pretty much exact same time we see Xeno going for the double Evo. So upgrades gonna be very even this game.
Yeah, definitely. Now, Xeno started the +1 Carapace. I want to see what he goes for with either the missile or, of course, the melee, and that kind of gives us an indicator. But last game, this is looking nearly identical to the last game, I have to say. Upgrades, the Baneland Nest, all of that, the lair timing, it's all looking very, very standard. So I wonder if he's going to go for the exact same composition, which is, of course, Ultra Lin, Baneland, Muta, Swarmhost, which is the most bizarre composition I've seen in a while.
Yeah, you know, if he was willing to use Swarm Host on Derelict Watcher, this is, you know, a much better map for the Swarm Host.
Yeah.
It's a little more linear, not quite as open in the middle. So I actually would not be surprised at all to see him use those if the game gets to that point, of course. 4GG is known for being very aggressive, super good with some of his draw play, so he may not even be looking to take the game to that late, you know, 3-3 bio against Ultra to stage.
Yeah, definitely. God, of course, this is the map that always has the super long split situations where it's like an hour and 10-minute game. So hopefully that doesn't end up happening, but it definitely could. There's both of these are macro-oriented players, but you know, I totally agree with what you said about 4GG. He's a very like timing-oriented player. He likes to do timings and just shut you down and do that damage and cripple your economy or something along those lines. We do have a double medevac drop flying along the bottom. No Overlord is going to spot this at all until it gets to the main base, and the Hellions are probably going to do a little bit of a run by to fry up some drones. So this could really go to plan. I wonder how Xeno will hold.
Well, Xeno's gotten a lot more roaches than he did last game. He's not getting a Spiral or Infestation Pit, just upgrading the roaches and of course his bio units, but unfortunately roaches aren't always the best at dealing with drops. He has 2 in position here, but against 2 full medevacs, he's going to need a few more units than that.
Oh, the Hellions run into the natural. They get some kills. Banelands do connect with some of them. The units drop into the main. The roaches get cleaned up. Is that queen going to get picked off? No. And no, it doesn't. But nice pick up that by... No. Yeah, he did pick them up. I was confused then.
And he's actually going straight to the third base as well, continuing to do damage here. He's up to 8 workers killed, a lot of units killed. 4GG is actually really getting a lot of work done, abusing the fact that roaches aren't super fast, and you can just jump between the third and main with ease.
And he picks up here again. Nice target fire coming from Xeno on the high ground with the queens to get the medevacs. Of course, you want to shut them down as... You know, like you shut down the mobility, the healing probabilities, you know, the efficiency of them. But it looks like Xeno's going to commit to an attack in a sense. And we do actually have tanks out for 4GG, 2 in the back of the third, or you know, towards the natural. So not the best posture for them to cover this third base.
I really love adding at tanks. He knew his opponent was going roaches. There is a speed roach, speed bane attack that's fairly common, and I think Xeno was planning on doing it, but those drops kind of slowed his timing a bit. And now with 2 tanks there, I mean, maybe you could force a third to be lift, but as 4GG just, you know, would kite backwards towards those tanks, it would be very difficult for Xeno to make any headway, so he's quickly adjusting, throwing down the Infestation Pit and the Spire, and continuing his actually upgrades in all 3 directions with triple Evos.
Definitely, and this, you know, as the third tank comes in, I think he's only on, okay, he is on 2 factory with Tech Labs, so his tank production's slow, but it is getting there. And of course, it gets scarier and scarier as tanks become much more cost efficient the higher the numbers. So, you know, this could lead up to a very big timing for 4GG where he moves out with all of these and sieges up and slowly pushes the creep back and heads towards that third base of the Zerg. But we do have the Enduring Locusts in production. We do have the missile attack. Is he on triple Evo? He's on triple Evo.
Yep. Yes.
Oh, nice.
He has got 1 in the main, of course, and 2 that he built originally in his natural. Very similar to last game, but he's playing an opponent doing a very different build. 4GG going double factory tanks, whereas Daichu is going to more standard Marine Marauder, Medevac, Widowmine composition. So the tanks are a little better against Roaches and Banings. Of course, Swarm hosts are kind of neutral. They're probably the tanks are probably going to help out against Swarm hosts as well. The question is will 4GG be able to hit a timing before Xenio gets, the Hive Tech, maybe Vipers, of course, would be great against tanks, or even just Ultratus.
Alright, this drop is headed in towards the fourth base location. There are a lot of Banelings here already, 4 in total, and the force pickup is forced. Bad English there. But like the defenses of Xenio are impressive. I gotta say, he has Banelings, Zerglings in the main, in the third. Everything is mainly out by the fourth base. So like really nice defensive posture. Like 4GG hasn't been able to do much, but here comes the big attack.
That's right.
8 tanks.
There's a lot of tanks. We see 2-2 moments from completion, plus 1 vehicle weapons about to complete that. A lot of tanks to one-shot the Speedings and the Banings. Of course, right now, one-shot the Banings, but not quite the Speedings, as they do have the armor. But pushing in here, he's trying to go on the creep. With tanks, he has to be a little bit careful. Doesn't want to go quite as deep in the creep. Might want to just wait for the creep to recede a bit as he leapfrogs forward.
Yeah, he kind of rushed up there. There is creep team was running around the top side as well, so creep is continuing. Who's lagging? Not me. That's cool. The tanks get into a better position. The Marine stim forward, getting the spine calls that were in production. They're zoning out the swarm host as well, so the locusts spawn in a little bit further away. But there are some mirrors on the field. I don't see them doing too much against this great setup though. But here it comes, Banelings, Roaches from every side.
Here we come in. Xenio just crashing in here, but the tanks actually take out all the Banelings before they can connect with the bulk of the Marines. 4GG continues to reinforce. In fact, he's continuing to upgrade behind us as well. And I think he's found a timing that Xenio's build is a little bit weak to.
Yeah, definitely. He doesn't drop a scan there, so the Swarmos do stay alive for the moment. They unburrow, run away. There's the scan. Banelings are morphing in, but they're getting picked up. A Viper comes out, gets instantly vaporized by bullets. And here we are, the Banelings rolling forward, not getting the connections that they need, and it looks like 4GG will be able to close this game out right now.
Yeah, he just continues to push forward. The Swarm hosts are being pushed further back, some of them being picked off every time they retreat. We see 4GG continuing to just reinforce across the map. Tanks being caught off guard by Speedings. Actually, this is great for Xenio. He's picking off 5 siege tanks there, just a group of Speedings, but it's too little too late, and he's forced to GG. 4GG evening things up, of course. This can make it 1-1 with Millenium and Liquid, and that's, I think, a huge win, because if 4GG lost there, that would have been, I mean, that was their ace player, right? It would have been,
that was really well played. That was like just so many units. Like his macro was ridiculous. 4GG's.
Yeah, macro, and he hit that timing just perfectly, moving out when there's, I think, 15 seconds to go on those 2-2 buy upgrades and, of course, the vehicle upgrades. And that, of course, means that when he gets to the Zerg base, when you're actually engaging, he has those key upgrades done. And Xenio, I think he really wanted to get Vipers out in time, because if he could have had like 2 blinding clouds on a tanks, or if he could have abducted a couple, then his Banings could have gotten those connections. But with it was 8 tanks, I think we said, it's pretty hard to make Banings close on that many siege tanks.
And the thing is, like, you don't know exactly when the units are moving out. Like, he had obviously creep and stuff. He had some units there, but by the time that he kind of spotted it, 4GG was by the outline of the creep and tanks and stuff like that. You kind of need preparation to get ready for the attack, because you got to split your units, try and have a nice arc and a concave, and then of course you try and swoop in from every direction. Well, 4GG does win the game. The next map is going to be Frost LE.
That's right. We'll have to see who Liquid puts in. I would kind of guess I'm feeling either red or TLO right here, but we'll have to wait and see. We'll be right back after a short break.